Hi, I'm Mark Sitt from Crocker Farm Auction, and I'm here to talk about something that's fascinated me for a while, people crocks from Western PA and West Virginia. People crocks are interesting because they have these great, folky, simplistic human forms in them, and yet, while they're very decorative, they're really easy to do. I've done a number of them on mugs before, and the potters, I'm sure, for them it was a lot easier to do than some of the more elaborate slip trail things and brush designs you see from elsewhere in the country. This example has this really nicely done woman here with, you can see she's got an apron and a walking stick and a collar on her dress, and there's kind of a sense of movement to the design as she kind of leans forward. She's flanked by two different style trees on the right and left, and this rainbowish effect above. All this was done with a sponge, and it gives it a neat kind of dappled look. Something like this looks great, but once again could be done really quickly. So it's a great example of a way that a mass production pottery could make something quickly but very beautifully at the same time. You can see here that it's got a 3-gallon capacity mark. This 3-gallon capacity mark is not the typical 3 you'd see on people crocks from West Virginia, and so therefore I think it's probably a Uniontown piece made by Norval Greenland sometime during the 1860s. This piece right here is your more typical Morgantown people crock made at the Thompson Pottery in Morgantown, West Virginia. Now when people think of people crocks, they most commonly associate them with Morgantown, West Virginia and the Thompson family. Some are even signed. This example has the, let's see, I think it's got the classic, does it have the it has the Morgantown 6 right here. Can you get that, Luke? It's very hard to see. You got it? This 6-gallon capacity mark is very distinctive. Anytime you see this depressed number with a raised border and then dots around it, you can associate it with the Thompson Pottery in Morgantown, West Virginia. That's where a lot of these people crocks were made. They also did some other figural designs there, including birds, deer, and fish. Another giveaway that says that it's Morgantown is these great molded handles. Can you get that? These molded handles are very distinctive to that pottery, and they look really great on the jar, huge lugs. And for a jar of this size, which is unusual, a 6-gallon, you'd want big lug handles like this. Now you can see this example has a similar effect, and so that's why it's very difficult to tell which are Uniontown and which are Morgantown. But you can see here a woman, she's holding a large flower or a bouquet, but you have a similar style design with the apron and the collar to her dress. She's also flanked by 2 trees, decorated with a sponged effect. These are more, I don't know, they're almost, coniferous, conical trees. And then we have an interesting leaf or flower bush type thing down here, and more of those similar trees. The rim has a stripe and that typical sponging, almost in a chain link effect around the top. But you can see these towns just weren't too far apart. And of course the Greenland family name, David Greenland Thompson was the main potter of these in Morgantown, and there was also John Greenland and Norval Greenland that made these in Connellsville and Uniontown. I mean, you can see there's a familial link there, and there was also a link in that the towns weren't too far apart, so you have very similar designs, possibly even the same decorators on pieces that were probably made at 2 different potteries. The people crocks are very fun and interesting. You can see things anywhere from women to pilgrims, people with guns, pipes, things like that. But these are 2 examples that we offered in our March 3rd auction, and we're very excited to have them.